Bethesda right here.
Turn left.
Now turn left. We're going down Whitfield Avenue towards Bethesda Gate. And when I was here, this was all open pasture. And then they grew pine trees here for a while, which they have since forested out. Over here on the right, we used to ride horses back in here. It was just open. Kind of pretty. This is still kind of open over this way.
Prepare to turn right.
To turn right? You need to go straight ahead through the gate. Unless they have a different entrance. I think our GPS is confused.
Navigation canceled.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time here. Now this is a new gate because somebody hit it. And there used to be a circle right in the middle that used to go around. And then the gate looked very much like this one, which I'm glad that they kept it. And then over here on the right, all along this branch, there was sugar cane. And we used to hide in there and smoke. Needless to say, they cut it down. And then this was Mr. Ford's house to the left. I don't know what it is now. Probably a cottage. And then over on the right, this is where they built all the new buildings. This was a horse pasture with a horse barn. And we used to camp out here sometimes. We'd camp over on the other side as well. But this is where they built all the new stuff. All right. I was wondering where they put it. So I'm like, you know, we got a lot of property out here. But it's quite the squeeze, you know. But it looks good. Very interesting.
We can find the main office.
Groovy. I was just telling Noelle, I said that's the same swing set and seesaws that were here when I was here. And there's the pool, Mr. Mac's house, of course. You know, that was alumni, the first cottage that I lived in. It's all miniature, like all the, you know, sinks and everything are small, child size. Let's go to the right. There's a little turnaround up there. We'll go up there. The place looks smaller than I remember. It seems so big to me all the time. You know, of course, when you rake every inch of it, it would seem large. Huh?
But I don't think they've been raking lately.
No, they actually now have a crew that comes in and does it. So that's Alumni Cottage. That's the basketball court, the garage. There's an Olympic-sized pool over there that we swam in, and gymnasium with basketball court. And then this was the dining room right here. That's the same shed that was there. That's funny how some things can stick around that long, because these are like freaking like 60 years old or something now. You know, crazy. And then that is Cohen Cottage. That's pretty funny. The same shed, I painted that many, many times. This is Robinson. I lived in, I mean not Robinson, this is Perkins. I lived here for a while. It was new. Well, this is one of the cottages I lived in. I lived in this cottage. We used to play in the amphitheater over there by the marsh where all those trees are. And when we were there, this whole thing was like big, big, tall plants. And it actually was closed in. Like when you went into it, it was very closed up. So it's a wall of bushes that had entrances that went through it, little, almost like a labyrinth, like a little maze. And then this building was originally the office, and then they moved the office back into Burroughs, which is over there. So go to the right. Yeah, we raked every inch of this. The bell bench over there, there was a bell attached to it, and that's where we showed up for work detail on Saturday mornings and during the week. There used to be a big tree behind here. And there's the dock. There left a tree like in here somewhere. Looks pretty different. That tree's been there for a while now. I used to play on that one. We had a swing attached over here. Then we had a swing that was attached to this tree that went to the marsh. You could swing out over the marsh. This tree right here got damaged during Hurricane David. We found a baby squirrel in it. Then I spent many times going through the marsh, going out to the island out there. And then this cottage back here is the cottage that I spent a lot of time in. That was Robinson. If you notice, we have the oyster shell. This is Burroughs and Lawton, I think, are the name of these. So Robinson Cottage. I used to stare out the door that way at the marsh while I did my homework. And the moon would come up, or the sun, you know, in the morning. Yeah. Now this is all new. That back here was not a courtyard. That was a big road. And this is where I saw the alligator that me and Farron chased. And then that was an open walkway over there. And the alligator jumped up the walkway. And this is where all the freezers are for all the beef in this building. And then we had a laundry over there. And we had people that actually did the laundry for all the boys. They didn't used to do it in the cottages. So that's Robinson. Pretty much the same. There used to be an old barn back here, and we farmed on this little patch of land one year. Grew a big farm. It was kind of fun. I wouldn't go all the way back there. Actually, the horse pasture's back in there. Does it let you go back there?
Oh, what is that right there? Back there.
That's a pump for fresh water. They would like desalinate the water, you know, run it through some sand. Yeah, and my room was where, well, it was across from where that door is. It was on the back side. So this back side was where my room was. That second window. And then this was a big barn. And when I first got to Bethesda the summer that I was here, I played in the big barn, but it was a big red barn with, you know, stuff. And then, of course, some of the boys got hurt in this tree, so they never let us climb trees ever again. And then this is where we took all the leaves back down this roadway here where the marsh is. We would like collect all the leaves that we raked up and then dump them into the marsh, and we had to kick leaves, and that was one of our jobs, was kicking leaves. We used to come back to this cow pasture, and there's a big silo back here, and in that silo we'd like sneak over there and run around. Sometimes we'd always get in trouble if we were off campus, is what they called it. But we would camp back in here, and we'd go back in here, and the silo had a bull outside. And that bull would chase you, so you had to run real fast. And this is actually where the leaf pile was, right here. It's not there anymore, they quit doing that. But probably that whole area down there is nothing but compacted leaves from, you know, decades of us putting leaves down in there. And then this is the silo I was telling you about, back in here. I used to have to go out and feed the cows with a tractor with Mr. Mack and some of the other people. And one year we had a bunch of cows die out from a disease, and it left a baby calf, and me and Eddie Phillips came out on the tractor and we had to tackle the cow. That was kind of fun. And out here at this little point, you might be able to see it through the woods and stuff, we used to go all the way through the marsh, and we'd mud bog. We'd end up at that point, swim across, and then end up back over here on the marsh. Yeah, there it is, that little palm tree out there. That's where we used to go. But we'd go all the way across to the island out there and come back. When we lived here, you had like 18 to 20 boys to a cottage, and we went to school, public school, unless you worked your way through and went to private school or something like that. And they have cows. Pomegranate tree right here behind this barn. Actually, the barn was over here, not over there. That was just a big backyard that we mowed all the time. But the barn was right here, and there was a pomegranate tree, and that's the first time I ever had a pomegranate. I didn't realize they grew anywhere around here. But yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
Can we go inside there?
We go, and this is the back side of the laundry, and in there, if they still have it, is the cooler where they keep all the beef. we have a big freezer, or we did, and you would store all your beef. And originally this building that you see sticking up above it and the one next to it, which are twin buildings, had a large building in the middle which had a bell tower and like 3 stories, and that burned to the ground a long time ago. So there you go. Yes. Ah, the workbench, where we spent so much of our life working. Yeah, we'd show up here and they'd tell us where we were going to go. And then I lived upstairs here while I was going to private school, and that was like the adult cottage. And then down underneath was the dining room originally, and then they put the dining room over there. And then this was just a game room, and then it was nothing in storage, and then now it's like a museum or something. And it has the portrait of Selena, the Countess of Huntington, is somewhere on the property still. I'll have to look it up. But yes, I walked across here one day and almost stepped on a rattlesnake. That was fun. And then that's the chapel, where we used to sing Christmas and for the whole alumni anniversary thing, which we used to do. And then all this right here at the point and all the way behind us was all azaleas like you see in front of these trees. Very beautiful. It's not quite as pretty in a lot of ways as it used to be. As Forrest Jackson says, all those leaves. In the tree?
Yeah.
That's Spanish moss. It's actually a bromeliad that grows in the trees. Alright, this is the chapel. Learned to sing here. It's quite lovely. That's too funny. And then when you come in here, this is the chapel. We spent a lot of time here. And of course, I have dusted every single one of these benches and cleaned every single one of these windows at some point in time in my time here at Bethesda. Right here, probably my initials are on this row, or the row behind it, because this is where I always sat. So underneath all this crap, you'll see like the dates and the names. We'd scratch our names in the back of these benches with our fingernails. So every single one of these has somebody's name. And almost every, like that right there, Eddie, most likely my best buddy. And then these doorways just cut through on the other side in a big loop. Kind of fun. The chandeliers are the original chandeliers. Probably all the windows and everything. And then these were here. Somebody embroidered these for the kneeling bench and for the stuff back here. And then this is the stained glass. Very pretty, very simple. And all the furniture and everything is the same as when I was here. I'm sure many more boys have carved their names in the backs of these seats being bored during church. Then up the stairs. And over the top. There you go. No, not at all. Oh my. These are pretty cool doors.
He's with Mom.
This is the Paula Dean bench. I have to close up. Her husband, John, who she calls Bubba, I think, grew up here. There you have it. Logan, come on. Logan's on the run.
It's about 2010.
And now on my final act of liberation, I'm going to have a cigarette on Bethesda property because I can. Ah, freedom.